Now that we've made the body of our letterbox, we're now going to make the other component parts. So we're going to make the tray, we're going to make a door, and we're going to make a lid. But before we do that, we need to save our work. Fusion 360 is not like Google Docs, and it won't save your work automatically. So it's really important as you go along that you save your work. You may get lucky if you close the program and open it up again. It will restore your work, but Murphy's Law, it won't do that. So make sure that you save your work. To do that, you go up to this little save icon here, the little hard disk. Click on that, and you're just going to call that letter box, or whatever you need to name it. It can be a name, it can be an admin project, that's fine. And yeah, so that's saved now, and you can see there letterbox version 0 or version 1, just clicked over. Right. The other thing we need to do is we need to name our bodies, because we're going to start having different bodies, and it's really, we need to be able to navigate between those bodies easily. So if we come over here, we've got, remember I talked about this menu being a really good way to select things. So if we just go onto this bodies one here, this little triangle, open that out, and you can see we've got body 1. And if I click on that, I've selected that body. Another thing that I can do with this is I can actually make it disappear. So if I click that little eye icon, it will disappear, and we're going to be using that. That is quite a useful function. So I click inside here, and I just call this letterbox body. Rename it. Okay, and that's all good. And we are going to use that function of making it disappear now, because we don't want it getting confused with the door that we're going to make next. So we just turn that off, and we're going to start making our door. So in order to do that, our door is going to be at the back of the letterbox. So we're going to navigate around to the back, and then we're going to go to the create a sketch, and we're going to work on a plane. Another advantage of turning off the body is that you won't select that body. So if we had that on, we were in danger of actually selecting the body and drawing on top of the body. I mean, not a huge issue, but at the same time can be quite annoying. So definitely good to switch it off. Another good reason to switch it off. So we're just going to start with a 2-point rectangle this time. And we're going to, our door needs to be 120 long or high. And it then needs to be, if we go tab into the length of the door, it is actually going to be 4 millimeters shorter, because we need to take account for the 2 millimeters on either side of the material that the door will slide into. So instead of making that 230, we're going to make that 226. And we press finish. Go back into home, and we've got our door. We're now going to extrude this, so we just need to make that 2 millimeters, because that's the thickness that we're sticking to across the whole thing. And if I just turn this back on, now you see what I mean about bodies getting tangled up with other bodies, and why it's good to actually be able to turn off your different bodies. So we'll just switch that off again. And what we're going to do is we're going to move this out of the way. Now, moving things in Fusion 360 is a little bit of a process, and you can't just sort of click and drag things like you can in other programs. You need to be a little bit deliberate about it and pick the right tool. So you have to go up here to this one, the move and copy tool, and that will just allow you to move things. One thing I need to actually just tell you about this, there are other things in Fusion 360 other than bodies and faces, but you just need to be careful that you are picking the body in this case for what you want to move, whatever it is that you're trying to move. So we're just picking a body to move. Okay, so just make sure it is selected on that one. I often do get caught out by that, so just watch that. And then you sort of select the body that you want to move, or the thing that you want to move, and you can sort of select these different arrows here. You can see you've got these sort of rotation ones as well. So you can actually rotate it, and you can move this in sort of, the X or Y axis or the Z axis for putting it in the place that you want it. So we'll just pop it there. Let's rename that so that we are being nice and clear about things. And I'll just pop the body back on. Oh, haven't quite moved it enough out of the way. Select the door. See there, with being able to select the different bodies, so I can just actually, rather than clicking on it here, I can actually just select it here, which is quite useful and means that you can be quite accurate with things. So I'll just move that out of the way. Okay, and I'm going to turn that one off. Now we need to make some flaps that will come out and will sort of fit inside the letterbox neatly. So kind of like an envelope, if you like. And those flaps need to be 2 millimeters across. So going to go to create a sketch, select this body, use that pan tool to find it again, and going to go to the offset, select this edge, and I'm going to go -2 to come in. Do the same thing on the other side, go to the offset, -2, finish the sketch, and go back into that home view. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude these out 20 millimeters, but in order to do that I'm going to do both at the same time. So the way that I do that is I can go to my extrude tool first, select that bit that I want to extrude, and then if I hold the shift key, you can see there that I'm able to select both. So that's an important one for other programs. You might be familiar with that in Google Docs or different things. You can use the shift key to select multiple items in a lot of computer programs, so just a good one to know. Press 20, enter, and there you go. We've got our flaps there that we can slot inside the letterbox. All right, the next thing we're going to do is the tray. So let's turn off our door and our body, and we're going to go to create a sketch, and we're going to do that on that top/bottom plane. And we're going to make this slightly less on all 4 sides. So we're going to take off 2 millimeters from each side of the square. So we are going to go 2 to 6. Yes. So that takes it from the top and the bottom. You can see there. I press tab, and you can see it's highlighted there in the toolbar. And 2 to 6. Enter. Finish sketch. Go into the home, and then extrude. And we're going to go up 2. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to actually just navigate around to the bottom because we need to put a lip around here so that it's able to be sort of welded into place. So you've got sort of a place to line up the the edges of the materials of the two different parts. So in order to do that, we're going to go to create a sketch. We're going to select our face, use that pan tool again, go to the offset tool, and this time we are actually going to chain the selection. So make sure that that is ticked. I'm going to click this here, and we're going to come in -2 millimeters, enter. By the way, you don't always have to press delete with the numbers when you're sort of typing into those little text boxes. If you just start typing, it will often know to delete the number. So I'm going to just select this frame while in the 2D view because it's just, with this one, it's just a little bit easier. Oh, no, I'm not actually going to do that. I'm going to press finish sketch first. Oh, it's still selected it, so that's good. And I'm going to come around here to the home, and I'm going to extrude that, and we're going to extrude that down 20 millimeters. All right, it's joining, fantastic. And yeah, so we've got that body there, and we're going to call this, rename it. I'm going to rename that to tray. And if I turn these back on, let's just see where we're at. Lovely, we're just over here to the side, and that's exactly where we want to be. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to work on this top plane. I'll just turn off our other bodies. And we are now going to make a lid for our letterbox. So we're going to start with either of all the rectangles, but I'll just start with the center point one, and I'll just delete that. Now this is going to be slightly longer on both sides, so it is going to be 260. So we'll have a 15 millimeter clearance on the front of the letterbox and a 15 millimeter clearance on the back as well. So we'll 260 tab and then 260 again. Okay, and we're going to go finish sketch on that one. And as you can probably guess by now, we're going to go extrude, and we're going to make that 2 millimeters. Press OK. All right. Now, this lid has a couple of extra details that we want to add to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little sort of lip down this way that will just sort of protect the letters a bit more from the rain and the elements, etc. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to create a sketch. We're going to select this one here, just pan across a little bit, and we're going to start with the line tool. And I'm going to just go to this edge here, and what I'm going to actually do is start with the degree of the angled lip that I want to put in. So I'm just going to tab into the angle, and I'm just going to make that, I don't want to make that 5, I'm going to make it 60. Okay, and then I'm going to tab down, and I'm going to make this one 30. So we've sort of got a 30 millimeter kind of like lip that's coming off the top there at a 60-degree angle. Press enter. Go back to this handy offset tool. I'm not going to chain my selection, and I'm going to pick this one, and I'm going to make the other side of it. So I'm going to come in, so -2, enter, go back to this line tool, and we'll just zoom in a little bit, and we're just going to connect up these two anchor points here. You can finish sketch. If you do get that one, you can go finish sketch there. Press escape to deselect the line tool, finish the overall sketch, go into home, and now what I'm going to do is extrude this, and I need to extrude it the length of this, which was 260. So I'm going to select that, and because of where it's sitting on the grid, on the plane, you can see there that it actually wants to come out this way, but it's actually from where it's sitting, it actually needs to minus on that x-axis. So we're going to go minus 260. Right. So now we've got our lid. And I will just rename that. So double click in here and we'll call that lid. Okie dokes. And now if I turn all these back on, you can see the lid is in the wrong place. So let's just move that. Yes, it's bodies. So let's just make it over here. Fantastic. And now we can see that we've got our lid, we've got our tray, and we've got our door. All right, I think I'll finish it there. Have a go at that, and I'll see you next time.